What's up, y'all? IR Trap Guy coming at you with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Modern Warfare 2 and how you can deal with those campers that have been plaguing everybody's lobbies. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you feel like it. It really helps me out a ton. Also, if you haven't seen the last video that I made on how to get better at Call of Duty more generally, definitely go check that out. We're going to build on some of those concepts in this video. So let's get into it. I've heard so many people talk about having issues with camping in Modern Warfare 2. Things like footstep audio and the lack of red dots on the minimap make it super easy for people to camp. If you're one of those people that's just struggling to get through games because of tons of campers, don't worry, because today I'm going to teach you how you can make them wish they never pitched that tent. To start things off, I'm just going to talk about some basic things that you can do to counter campers. This is mostly for newer players, but also if you're an experienced player, there might be something that you didn't think of. You never know. Grenades are probably going to be the easiest way to kill a camper. If your grenade throws aren't quite on point, Semtexes can make it a little bit easier. Ideally, the way to do it is cook a frag grenade so that it detonates right as it reaches their camping spot and they don't have time to run away. The downside to using grenades is that if they put on the bomb squad perk, the grenade alone is not going to kill them. Flash grenades in particular are very powerful in Modern Warfare 2. It buys you a ton of time to get a shot off on the camper. Even if they're using the Battle Hardened perk, it still blinds them for a full second or two. The other nice thing is that you can throw on the extra tactical perk if you feel like you could use another one. Campers' number one defense in Modern Warfare 2 is footstep audio. They're going to be able to hear what direction you're coming from and they're going to be more prepared for the fight than you are. If you pop dead silence right before you go in, they're not going to know what direction you're coming from. They're not even going to know that you're attacking until it's too late. When someone's camping, their biggest advantage is that they let other people come to them. If you approach them from the direction they're expecting, they're always going to have that advantage. But if you approach them from a direction they're not expecting, all of a sudden the advantage is going to be yours. They're going to have to either clutch up their aim or reposition in the middle of the fight. A really good jump shot is probably about 10% more effective at approaching another player. But if you're not that good at jump shotting, it's actually probably going to make things worse. It makes it trickier to aim, and it's just distracting to try jumping while identifying where the other player is at the same time. So if you're good at jump shotting, then go for it. But if you're not, I would not recommend practicing against campers. There's other times when you can practice your jump shotting where there's less pressure on you and it's going to be less stressful. Sometimes when you're trying so hard to kill a camper and you just can't do it, it can feel like they're always one step ahead of you. So let's talk about some more advanced strategies that can help you in those moments. I see some people doing a lot of the right things when they're playing Call of Duty, and then when it comes time to fight, it's like they're not ready at all, especially when approaching players in camping or defensive positions. And I'm not just talking about new players, I'm talking about professional players as well. You see this all the time. I think it's a matter of focus. Focus not just on the game, but on specific elements within the game. At any given point in Call of Duty, there's so many different things that you can focus on. You've got the minimap and all the different information that comes with it. You've got your ammo count, the score, maybe your kill streak, bunch of other things that I'm also probably not remembering as well. All these things draw your focus. That's not inherently a bad thing. You definitely have to pay attention to those things to play Call of Duty successfully, but sometimes it distracts you from the fight that's happening right in front of your eyes. I think there could be a conversation about when to focus on what in regards to all of those particular things. But for today's topic of dealing with campers, what I really want to emphasize is that it is imperative that you are 100% focused on the fight at hand when you're approaching a camping player. At the end of the day, a camper has no actual idea when you're going to be approaching them. They just rely on the fact that they will probably see you before you see them. And they take a whole bunch of extra time to actually start fighting because they have that advantage. But if you come at them 100% prepared for that fight, you're going to turn their camping into an advantage for yourself. I'm serious when I say that I see this with professional players all the time. Take a look at this clip from Major 3. Shotzi is just straight up sitting behind a door in a corner on Bocage. Nasty fortunately catches a glimpse of him through the wall. So this is kind of like a situation in a pub's lobby where you get killed by a camper, you've respawned, and you're just trying to figure out how you should approach and kill that camper now. You know that they're there waiting for you. What are you gonna do? Nasty just straight up busts through the front door and guns him down. Shotzi literally only gets off a single shot. That's because Shotzi had no idea when Nasty would attack. Nasty, on the other hand, was 100% ready for this fight. He invested all of his focus so that as soon as he got through that door and registered Shotzi being there, he could start shooting. That's the approach that you have to have with campers. So anytime that you're approaching a camper in Call of Duty, or even just another player in a defensive position or an area that you're not sure about, approach it with every single fiber of your mind focusing on the fight that's about to ensue. That's how you see people with these cat-like reflexes. They don't just go from 0 to 100, they're already at 60% because they're thinking about the possibility that someone is around this corner. I guarantee that if you approach campers like that, you're gonna be quicker on the draw way more times than they are. The next advanced tactic we're gonna talk about is the fake out. This builds on the previous conversation about focus. What you wanna do is when you're approaching the camper's peak, you want to pop out for just a second and then pop back into your cover. What this does primarily is it's going to freak out the camper. Now, I mentioned earlier, campers thrive on the idea that they can see you long before you see them. But if you survive those initial moments, they're going to reveal themselves and lose any advantage that they had when the fight was starting. That means that you can now pinpoint where exactly their position is. Even in Modern Warfare 2, where there aren't red dots on the minimap, you can determine based on where the bullets were coming from, where they're sitting. What this really helps with is when campers are sitting in rooms or buildings, and there's a lot of different places that they could be peeking out from. Something else to go along with the fake out is just moving quickly through open areas. This is a good idea in general, but especially when you're playing against campy players, you want to make sure that you're not leaving yourself out in the open. Let's take a look at, just this spot on Embassy, just as an example. When you're coming up to the spot, let's say you've cleared it and you know that there's nobody around, you don't want to just walk out there and, start looking for people in the back of the map. You want to sprint as quickly as you can to the next position where you have cover, and then you can do your peek and figure out if anybody's there. The last thing I suggest when playing against campers is to press your advantage. If you manage to kill a camper, capitalize on that. Run straight through their position and go on the offensive. Start hunting for opposing players, including wherever the camper respawned. Usually campers have the most success when the spawns aren't flipping. So going back to a concept from my previous video, what happens is the other team gets comfortable with the camper being in that spot. They feel like they don't have to worry about threats from that direction, either consciously or subconsciously because the camper has been there for so long. But when you break through, you have some critical time where you can catch the other team completely off guard. If you keep that offensive pressure going, you can ideally prevent them from getting back into a good camping spot. That's it for this video. I hope you guys learned something here and you can put these tactics and strategies to good use. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop it a like. And if you want to see my new videos as they come out, definitely subscribe to the channel. Good luck out there until next time.